Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal match preview for the big one. Champions League time. FC Porto once again. We face each other once again after 3 weeks of having to sit on that result against them, losing 1-0 to them at their place. But we are back again. A big, big game for us. Absolutely huge game for very, very many reasons we already know about. And it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy for a lot of reasons as well. Things like experience and all that. FC Porto are definitely more experienced than us in the Champions League over recent years. And this is the first time we're like in this situation in the Champions League, and for most of our players, first time for them playing in the Champions League. And listen, let's first talk about the first leg, and then before we come to the second leg. Now, for the first leg, we didn't have any shots on target. We had a lot of corners, though. I remember we had like 10 or 11 corners, and people say didn't really use the corners like we usually use them in the Premier League. We could have had a couple of goals from those corners. If I'm not wrong, Saliba missed one header, Havertz missed one header, and there was another one that was crossed to Trossard and he missed from a volley. Like those ones, if you took those chances, at least one of them could have been a different result. But the moment you go to like the 80th minute and stuff, because they had hit the post early in the first half, they'd missed like a guilted chance. I started thinking, listen, 0-0, no problem. Let's just take them back to our place, 0-0, and I'm sure we can get at least 2 goals at our place. But that last-minute goal for them definitely changed everything. And the way the last minute came about, our own mistake, giving them the ball, we were trying to attack them quickly. In terms of experience, we should have probably kept the ball and held on for the 0-0 and took them back to the Emirates. But since they scored that goal, everything changes. Now, we still do need to score. We still needed to score either way, even if the game was 0-0 at their place, we still needed to score at our place. Now, we definitely need to score, because if we don't score, we are out. And I think I remember there's a time we played against Villarreal in the Europa League, and they were leading us 2-1 or something, and you needed to score against them at our place, just 1 goal, and the game ended 0-0. Now, anything like that is going to be a disaster. So, for us conceding that goal that day against FC Porto, it means like FC Porto can come to our place and just sit and hope for a 0-0, just like Villarreal did 3 seasons ago against us. Just go there and defend. That is what they're going to do. And the way Brentford were absolutely annoying us for, I think, the whole of the entire second half, I think the ball was out of play more than it was in play for us against Brentford. Like I saw that stat yesterday. Like there were so many fouls, so many free kicks, so many throw-ins, and they were really wasting time and trying to frustrate us. And it almost worked. Now, FC Porto are going to do that from the first minute. They have more quality than what Brentford have. So if they get an opportunity to shoot the ball from outside the box or something like that, a free kick or something, they can easily score. But in terms of just defending well and annoying us and, going down easily, like the way they were doing in the first leg from corner kicks, when the Ben White is standing next to the goalkeeper can go down easily and they try to frustrate us, it's going to be like that. So you don't really want to get to the 60th minute still drawing 0-0 or anything like that. What you need to do in this game, I'm sure you'll have a shot on target in this game. The first leg, I didn't really think they like shut us out completely. I feel like also the way we approach that game in terms of hoping for a draw maybe helped in terms of that. But in this one, we have to score. We have to try and win. So I'm hoping that from the first minute we go at them, and we need to do that, because if it gets to the second half, it becomes a little bit too nervy. If you play against FC Porto and you score within the first 20 minutes, then things change. It's 1-1, and they could still sit back, but they'll also kind of need a goal, and they'll know us will potentially get a second goal, and they're the ones who will need a goal sometime in that game. So if we start the game as quickly as possible, the way we usually start games against Liverpool, score early, the way we started games like against the other day against Newcastle, had 2 goals, I think, in the first 20 minutes or something. The one against Sheffield, we had 3 goals within the first 50 minutes. On Saturday, we scored a very early goal against Brentford as well in the first 20 minutes. We need to do the same against them. That is exactly what we need to do. Get an early goal. That settles our nerves a bit. That makes us feel like, listen, at least we've had a shot on target. At least we scored a goal. At least we know we can actually score a goal against these Pepes and all these guys. Then from there on, everyone else becomes confident to remember that you've scored 4 or 5 goals in every one of these games, and you can easily get a couple of more goals. And it's not going to be easy. We've never made not made the Champions League quarterfinal since 2010. That is 14 years ago. So the thought is always there. Like, if you to give me Burnley today in the Premier League, I'd tell you 8-0 prediction. But if you to give me Burnley today and you tell me the competition is the Champions League, I'd be like, huh. So it's not really the team, it's the mindset that we have in terms of the Champions League, because we've never really been a Champions League team. We always like fall short in the Champions League for so many years. Up until today, I still wonder how the Invincibles didn't get farther in the Champions League, how we didn't get farther in the Champions League like the whole of the 2000s as well. It's never been easy for us in the Champions League, but hopefully this time, if we can beat FC Porto, this is our last game before we go for the break. We're not playing next weekend, and then we have an international break after that. We're not playing again until 31st of March. So when you play on 12th of March, we'll have another game for like how many days is that? Like 19 days or something. And the next game is Man City. So we'll have a little bit of time to relax. Some players will go for international duty, but that will be next week, like on Monday. So between Wednesday and Sunday, that will be time to rest for the players, the likes of Saka, the likes of Rice, before they go for an international break. And for players like Ben White, who might not get picked for England, and I don't know, players like, I don't know if Egypt have a game, all those guys, everyone in the squad. I know Lenny does not play, but in terms of the goalkeepers who don't get picked, Trey might not get picked, he might. Those players who don't regularly play, it's time to rest for them, those 19 days. So it's going to be absolutely huge for us. For the ones remaining, if they're like 15 remaining, that's too high, but maybe 10 remaining, take them to Dubai. I don't care. Cancel the international break and go to Dubai. But it's going to be time to refresh the batteries once again. The last time we had a chance to refresh our batteries, we've come back and we've won 8 Premier League games in a row. Another chance to do it again this time. But before that, we have FC Porto, and this is a game that we have to try and win. It's going to be super exciting, because if we win this game, we're in the Champions League quarterfinal. We can now start thinking, oh, who are you going to face now? Man City or Real Madrid or Bayern Munich, or are we going to play PSG? Like, it's going to be very exciting when you go through. If we go through, I think the draw is later on this week, but let's do the job first. Let's try and handle the business first. We have good news in terms of getting Jesus back. He's not there for the first leg. Zinchenko is back as well. He's not there for the first leg, and let's see if Martinelli will make it for this game. Let's see if Tomiyasu will make it for this game. It's definitely not going to be easy, but if you play them right away and you score a goal, it kind of changes everything. And since they played us, FC Porto have played 4 games and they've won 3, they've drawn 1. One of them was in the cup, but they beat Benfica by 5-0. They won, I think, an away game against like Portimonense or something like that, 3-0. They drew a game 1-1 as well in the league. So they definitely can score the goals, and they're definitely a very good team. So it's not a team that you can just be like, yeah, you're going to beat them 4-0 at all. So stay tuned to hear my prediction at the end. But which kind of lineup would I go for if I was Mikel Arteta? So this is what I'd do. Let's see. Goalkeeper-wise, obviously David Raya starts in goal. Ramsdale, shocking mistake against Brentford, but he did have a good second half. But it's kind of sad, but it looks like that is the last time we see him, unless Raya gets a red card or something. But that definitely looks like the last time we've seen Ramsdale. Now, the goal that FC Porto scored in the first leg, Raya was kind of off his line. That's the same thing Tony was trying the other day against Ramsdale. I saw some arguments if that was Raya, maybe to have gone in, because those shots from those kind of angles and those long shots that you've seen, some of them usually go in against Raya, like the one for FC Porto in the first leg from Galeno, and also the Mudryk one again from Chelsea. Sometimes it happens, but I'm sure he'll be able to handle this in terms of the kicking. I think the defense in front of him will feel more comfortable having Raya there, unfortunately, for Ramsdale. Defensively, what do we do defensively? Now, we have 4 defenders that have been playing the last few games. Zinchenko is now back. Who knows? Tomiyasu could also be back for this one. But for me, this is how my defense would look like. I'd keep it the same. I was thinking Zinchenko, but I'm just going to stick with Kiwior for now for this particular game. I have no problem if Zinchenko plays the Man City game, not really. But the others, I have no problem with him if he starts. But this particular one, I feel like Kiwior has been playing well. Just keep it going. Gabriel, Saliba, Ben White, and Kiwior. If Tomiyasu was there, I'd be tempted to start him. But that would be my back 4. Now, the positions where we have a little bit of headaches in terms of too many people to choose from at the midfield and the forward positions. Now, Jorginho has been playing really well. I gave him a 6 in the player ratings for Brentford, but I rewatched the game, and yes, he did make some good passes, so I upgraded that to a 7. And when Jorginho plays, he really allows Rice to go forward a lot, and Rice goes forward and he scores and he assists basically every single game. And also in terms of just controlling everything in midfield, I was very surprised Jorginho did not start in the first game against Porto. That was shocking. But the things he does in the team and the experience that he has in the Champions League and the way he allows Rice to go forward and his passing ability from midfield, the way he controls everything. I'm going to have to stick with him. I'm going to have to stick with Jorginho in midfield. I'm going to start Jorginho in midfield. And that means that then the two positions next to him, you already know who's going to start, and the one on the right as well. Let me just put them on the screen. Declan Rice, Odegaard, and Saka. Now for Declan Rice, he does a lot. Like, his quality is very, very good. When you see him crossing those free kicks and corners, taking those free kicks and corners, he's shooting from outside the box. He scored now in back-to-back games. I think in his first time, for the first time in his career, he can pick out a pass as well. The running ability from midfield, and him having Jorginho there in midfield, I think really allows him to express himself even more. And basically, the way we press from the front, the way he's very good in tackling and interceptions, is basically helping us defend from their final third. So we can win those. We can take back position literally in their final third, and we can be on the attack right away, rather than having him collecting the balls or the interceptions like in our own half. When he's doing it like in front, from their defenders, he puts us on the attack right away. The ball falls to Havertz, to Odegaard, and puts us on the attack right away. So that would be my midfield. And Saka on the right, obviously. Odegaard, we need his creation a lot in this game, especially if they sit back for the whole game. Odegaard and Saka will be very crucial. That combination on the right side, Odegaard, Saka, Ben White, they're really good, especially when Martinelli is not on the pitch. We use that right side a lot to open up those triangles between Odegaard, Saka, and Ben White. Really, really positive. Now, that leaves two positions in the team. Who would I start? Now, Jesus is back. Trossard is there. Havertz is there as well. Martinelli could be back. I'm not 100% sure, because I'm hearing he was seen with crutches the other day. So that points out to him not potentially starting this game. But we definitely missed him against Brentford. If Martinelli is fully fit and available, I would start him on the left side. But in this one, I've just considered he's not going to be fully fit to start. So I've not included him in the starting lineup. So what would I do? Havertz stays in the lineup for me, and he plays up front. So that leaves one position on the left. Who would I play on the left? Gabriel Jesus would play for me on the left, Havertz up front. Now, not because Trossard is a bad player, no, but against Brentford, he's a little bit quiet, and we really miss that Martinelli pace. We saw there's a couple of throws from Ramsdale that fell to Trossard, and he didn't really have the pace to get behind the defenders. Now, I think Jesus has a little bit more in terms of pace, and Jesus has been really good for us in the Champions League this season. And on top of that, his experience in the Champions League alongside Jorginho and Havertz, I think that will be really, really beneficial as well. And Jesus can definitely play on the wing. We saw him playing against Man City on the right wing when Saka was not available, and he played really, really well in that game. Was one of the nominees for man of the match for that game. I remember very well. So I would play Jesus on the left side and Havertz up front, because I don't think Havertz would be dropped. The other thing you can do, you can play Rice in the Jorginho position and Havertz in the Rice position, but that spoils everything. That spoils the momentum that we have. Also, people don't really like Havertz in the midfield. They prefer him up front, and also that means you take out Jorginho and you take out Rice ability to attack, and you take out the control when you remove Jorginho from there. So that would be my team. That would be my starting lineup. Hopefully that is good enough. Let me know if you agree that we'd have it different. And then that leaves this on the bench. Ramsdale, Karl Heinz, Zinchenko, Cedric, Elneny, Thomas Partey is there as well. Would you guys start him instead of Jorginho? Let me know. Vieira, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, Trossard, Nketiah, and Nelson. As I said, if Martinelli is there, if he's fully fit, I'd start him on the left side, but I just had to consider he's not there because he was in crutches on Saturday. That is a good enough team. Like, even if Martinelli is fit enough to be on the bench, we can have him on the bench and he can really help us in the second half. Now, Partey is also an option to start if you prefer, but I feel like Jorginho has really been controlling everything, and Partey isn't really back to his best because of the rustiness and stuff. So I'm putting Jesus in the lineup because when he came on against Brentford, he looked sharper. Even against Sheffield, he did look sharp. He just refused to shoot the ball. He could easily have had a couple of goals in that game. So as you can see, that's my team. On the bench, good enough players to come on if you need control and everything in terms of Vieiras and all those players. If you need a little bit of pace up front, Martinelli, a bit of technique, and if you need someone else to bring off the bench up front, Trossard is there. If Trossard comes on, I'd prefer him to come on. If Trossard is starting, I usually the last few months I've preferred him starting up front. But I do feel like he brings more impact from the bench when he comes on for Martinelli or someone else playing on the left side. Reece Nelson's space is always an option. And if you're leading the game and you want to just shut it out, the likes of Partey, there's also the option of bringing in Zinchenko for Kivio if you're really struggling to open up their defense. So that would be my lineup. Prediction. We've been predicting 6-0 and 4-0 recently. Not for this game, though. At their place, I think I predicted Arsenal to win 2-1. We didn't really get a goal, but here I think you're going to get a goal. I think FC Porto are also going to get a goal, but I think Arsenal are going to get 3. I'm going to go for Arsenal 3, FC Porto 1. That is my prediction. Arsenal 3, FC Porto 1. I'm not even going to go for any goal scores. Whoever scores, just take us to the quarterfinal. I'll be really, really glad. Arsenal 3, FC Porto 1. Let me know your prediction. Let me know your starting lineup. Are you confident for this game? Are you very, very wide? How are you feeling? Tuesday night, we know our fate. Will we be in the Champions League quarterfinal for the first time since 2010? Let's hope so. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.